I want to make a response video to a comment left by Artesian HVAC R1. Before I get into the comment, I want to say that when creators like myself are trying to do what I do, I'm putting this information out there for the average Joe that don't know nothing about nothing. HVAC, he seems like he's somewhat knowledgeable, and there's a way to go about it, right? Don't try to dismiss or discredit what I'm doing to make yourself feel better about yourself. You know what I mean? Because you know what I'm saying is some real shit. The gentlemanly way to go about this shit is to say, yo, bro, I like what you're trying to do. You got the information somewhat together, but you're missing a few pieces. Here's the pieces. But to say that the information or the video was cookie cutter, now I gotta get your ass nigga. Now I gotta get disrespectful since you got disrespectful. You feel me? So now that the Mr. Rogers shit is out the way, let's get into this shit and break this shit down piece by piece. I'm a, fair motherfucker, you know what I mean? I'm cool when it's time to be cool, and I'm an asshole when it's time to be an asshole. So I hate to do it to you, but I'm about to do it to you, my nigga. So Artesian HVAC R1. The first part of his comment, he says the percentage of Atlanta proper city limits is black, or that is black, is less than 50%. So before we get into that, right, let's take a step back. The video I made is called How Atlanta Became a Majority Black City. First part. Now let's go back here to his comment. The percentage is less than 50%. Now it is, right? So, in him trying to fact check me, I fact checked his ass back. So, yes, you are accurate in what you're saying as of right now. And that's the city of Atlanta. So, as of early 2026, the black population in Atlanta proper, meaning the city, is approximately 46.4 to 47.5. The city officially dipped below the 50% threshold around 2022 to 2023. So when he's coming at me, he's trying to be slick when the information says that this fall below the 50% level happened only a few years ago. Literally 2 to 3 years ago, out of damn near almost, if you want to be stingy, you could say 70 years of primary black population. If you want to be generous, damn near a fucking century of majority black population. So that's that first part. At its peak in 1990, Atlanta was 67% black. So even if we started from 1967 to 2023, when they saying that the black population started to finally dip up under that 50% mark, that's still a nice ass run. But we ain't starting from 1990 because the shit been popping as a black majority city for almost a century. If you want to be stingy, like I said, 75 years to damn near 100 years, my nigga. So eat a dick on that one. Next, the percentage applies to, once again, the city proper, the center of the motherfucking map, Atlanta, the city where the buildings are. The niggas moved from the city out into the suburbs. But we'll come back to that. So even when he's trying to be slick and disrespectful, his data that he's presenting is still saying 46 to 40%. 47%. That's still a lot for a black population in any fucking city. So still, what are you talking about, my nigga? Yeah, I gotta get in my bag and just talk my shit right now. So now he says, also, it is not correct that Atlanta is a black socio slash economic slash political power hub, as many assert. All right, let's go on ahead and get into that part. Now, this statement that he made is misleading. While the percentage population wise has dropped, the concentration of power remains high. Atlanta still leads the nation in the rate of black owned firms with employees and serves as the headquarters for major black led organizations. Political power also remains concentrated. Every major every Atlanta mayor since 1973 has been black. How many motherfucking cities can you say that about? So not only the visual of black mayor, black, money, power. Come on, man, stop playing these games, nigga. Next, since Maynard Jackson in 1974, he did a mandate that once he got into that position of political power, he transformed the motherfucker to financial power. He instituted a mandate that 25% of all city contracts go to minority owned businesses. And that's credited with creating not people of color wealth, black wealth, creating a black middle class and black upper class that exists to this day since 1974. 74 to 2000, that's damn near 25 years. We're in 2026. So that's like 50 fucking years of financial and political power and your socio-economic political fuck out of here, nigga. Fuck you talking about? Stop it. Stop it, nigga. You looking like a silly rabbit. Tricks is for kids, my nigga. Lastly, the information laid out in the video is cookie cutter information because the same dynamics occurred in all major cities as well as mid sized cities across America post World War II due to the advent of suburbs and racial restrictions. We already know that. So I'm going to give you half credit. So on your motherfucking test, you got a D. You know what I mean? I ain't going to give you an F. You got a, no, I'll give you a C. Now, the cookie cutter part that's correct is that nationwide niggas was shoved into these cities, which is why for the users, the average listener of this video who's not educated and would like to be educated, when white people are talking racist without trying to be racist, they'll use little slogans and little terms. So when you watching Fox News and happen to flip through that motherfucker and they make a reference to the inner cities, they talk about niggas because nationwide motherfuckers were sent into the cities. Black people stayed in the cities while the newer batches of Caucasians from Eastern Europe and everywhere the fuck else came in and was also shoved into the inner cities because the WASP, the white Anglo Saxon Protestant Caucasian, as my man is pointing out, they were on that Leave It to Beaver house, picket fence, two kids, and a dog. They were getting their slice of the American pie or the American dream, either way, however you want it. So he's correct in that standpoint. Where he's not correct is unlike these other situations, niggas was jammed into cities. Atlanta's the only scenario where they gave up all political control internally in the city. They literally left niggas to their own devices for the most part, thinking that they were gonna fail and just crumble. That was where the beginning of that whole black excellence type shit started to happen. You thought we was gonna fail, but nah. So we're gonna circle back on all that shit too. So post World War II, they did have a whole suburban movement of sending white people to these newly created suburbs, which of course killed many birds with one stone. It helped the economy, right? We all know, no, we don't all know. So let me correct myself. You know what I mean? I gotta check my motherfucking self. You know what I mean? World War II, black and white soldiers fought, bled, died. The ones that lived came back, and they all represented this country as veterans of the Great War, as they were kind of, they came back from. 95 or greater percent of the recipients of the GI Bill loans, the VA loans, all that shit that allowed white soldiers to get homes, it went to the white soldiers, which is why 90% of the homeowners at that time out the fucking gate were white people. White people would try to lie and use the lie and the flex that, oh, we pulled ourselves up from our bootstraps. These niggas was eating fucking tumbleweeds during the Great Depression. If it wasn't for World War II, the United States wouldn't be a superpower that it became. And who knows what the fuck might have happened. The average white person was struggling. The money from them VA loans literally was a welfare handout situation that paid for white upliftment, if we're gonna just use a fucking term out of nowhere, right? The government paid to put these Caucasians in the very first suburbs that were created. These homes that are now probably half million and whatever higher in value, these homes were like literally 7,000 when they first were built. Anywhere from probably 6 to 9,000, 10,000 on the high end as far as the average suburban home. Paid for by GI loans, or at least the initial down payment to get the motherfuckers in the door. The white flight did happen nationwide. Now let's go back to Atlanta, right? The thing that made Atlanta also unique. So besides being left to their own devices, where the white politicians thought that the shit would just crumble and then it fail, you had the AUC, you had the Atlanta University Center. Unlike many northern cities where black residents were primarily industrial workers, Atlanta developed a black elite class of fucking doctors, lawyers, academics as early as the late 1800s. So now, late 1800s, but damn, bro, you saying what? Niggas was running Atlanta. They may not have been running it fully, but niggas was popping since the late 1800s, already putting down the beginnings of a black elite. What the fuck are you talking about? This black elite, which started in the late 1800s, created a different political trajectory for the city of Atlanta, unlike every other city in America at that point. Point blank, period. Were there other cities that showed glimmers and flashes of black excellence that were maybe close to or equal at some point in time or another, maybe. But there wasn't a motherfucking city nowhere near on the level of Atlanta at this motherfucking time. From the late 1800s, damn near to the motherfucking 1990s, damn near to goddamn right now. Stop it, my nigga. You get your shit together, man. Get your shit together. Like I said, I don't know too many other cities, but I'm going at this point. You don't woke a fucking bear, my nigga. You should have just shut the fuck up and just stayed silent. Now we got to touch on every black city. So the next video, I did a survey or a poll on my channel. I think it's Memphis, Detroit, and I forgot what the other two cities are. But hit that poll and let me know which city y'all want to get the history on next. And when we go through the history of whatever city next, that motherfucking history ain't gonna be cookie cutter to Atlanta because it's a different geographic region with different circumstances and all of that shit. So let's stop with the cookie cutter talk. Why the fuck is everybody still trying to move to this bitch now, even? So when you talk that slick shit of the population is less than 50%, that's niggas that's in the city. These devils came back and tried to price niggas out, but the niggas here got money. Still almost 50% niggas ain't left because they got money to stay. Fuck you talking about. The rest of the niggas is just on the outskirts of the city, which is why more and more black people are moving down here because they feel comfortable to be around their fellow black people. So don't when niggas try to play these slick semantic games, we ain't doing that. So now I don't know too many other cities that was dubbed the Black Mecca. Atlanta is still considered a Black Mecca. Fuck what you heard. Now there's a few other cities that are now kind of getting that same type of status, but really just recently. If we're gonna keep this shit a fucking buck, you get what I'm saying? Don't act like these other cities been doing it as long and consistent as Atlanta has been. You do your own research. It clearly will tell you a black elite was established in Atlanta's the fucking late 1800s, nigga. It's you already lost. Just shut the fuck up, take your L, and sit in the corner with your dunce cap, nigga. So Washington D.C. on the power metric, it has the highest income. Why it comes close to Atlanta? The Chocolate City has the highest median black household income, at least in 2023, from the, at least I guess the latest data, right? In a massive black professional class fueled by federal government as well as institutions such as Howard University, which feeds those black educated students into the workforce. The next one on the list is South Fulton, Georgia, which has the highest population. Incorporated in 2017, it's over 90% black and now serves as the new black Mecca suburb where the wealth displaced from in town Atlanta has been relocated right outside the city into South Fulton, just in the suburbs, right outside the city. So when you once again when your boy talking slick, as if like they were over 50%, but then they're no longer the black like niggas just evaporated on some Thanos snap shit. Like all of the niggas just left and evaporated to thin air. Niggas moved from inside the city limits into the suburbs outside. That's all. This is still a majority black situation in the metropolitan area. What the fuck you talking about, man? So anyway, next on the list that's on the close to black mecca status, Houston, Texas, entrepreneurship. It boasts one of the highest rates of black owned businesses, 21%, and a massive concentration of black doctors and engineers supported by Texas Southern University. So you see the trend here, black colleges and universities play a role in these cities' success. Atlanta being one of the earliest ones to have the HBCUs really popping like that. There was no fucking doubt and no question that they were going to be the first ones to really pop off like that and pop off bigger and better than all of these niggas for almost over a century. The data is telling me this. It's telling me that about Atlanta. It's saying it about Houston. And now let's see what it's saying about Maryland. Prince George County. Institutional wealth. While it's a county, it is the wealthiest majority black jurisdiction in the United States, offering a level of suburban autonomy and political influence identical to Atlanta. Wait a minute. The wealthiest fucking county, black county in the United States, offers a level of suburban autonomy and political influence identical to Atlanta. You just said that Atlanta is not a socio-economic political power hub, as many assert. But many assert that it did, nigga, and it still does. The fuck are you talking about, man? You better stick to repairing HVACs, nigga. Respectfully. Next up, Detroit. The more I see and say the word Detroit, that might be the damn city I cover next. Political autonomy. Despite economic hurdles, Detroit remains a bastion of black political power and home ownership, with a black population share of 76%, the highest for any major U.S. city. And that's clearly, you know, what it is. So if you're gonna talk shit and try to say that Atlanta is not a socio-economic political power hub, then you damn sure better say the same thing about all these other cities that clearly fucking are. Get your shit together, nigga. Don't ever try to come in my comments with a sneak dissing Drake ass energy, nigga. Stop being a hater, nigga. And this is for all y'all other niggas out there that might have a hater in your motherfucking body, a bone, hater bone. Just keep it playing and be like, look, I like what you're doing. You're missing a couple of pieces of information. You know, in your next video, can you touch on this, and this? I can humble myself and be like, yes, bro. Just like HVAC here. The points that he was valid on, I bowed down and gave him his flowers and his props. The points that he was clearly wrong on, I destroyed the nigga on. As simple as that. Had he came humble and just kept the shit cordial on some gentleman shit, I'd have just, it would have been a whole different video. But fuck it. You know what I mean? That's what you get, nigga. You did this shit, not me. So anyway, to get back to the education shit, in the current professional landscape, there's a new trend called freedom zones that have emerged, right? So you got young black professionals migrating to cities like Charlotte, North Carolina, and Dallas, Texas, where the cost of living is lower than DC or Atlanta, but the infrastructure of black led banks, chambers of commerce, and social clubs are rapidly expanding. So those are just things to keep in mind. And then I want to give a shout out to a couple of other YouTube creators. In fact, let me hit this damn thing, see if it'll open a link in a new tab. There's another video called Inside America's City of Black Millionaires by YouTube creator Teo Aina. Hopefully I pronounced your name correct. If not, please forgive me. He got 1.26 million subscribers. So, without going too far into it, just to read a brief of the description, Inside America's City of Black Millionaires is a video of him exploring Atlanta, Georgia, the only place in America with the most black millionaires. So, once again, circling back to your man, Atlanta is not a socio-economic political power hub. What are you talking about, nigga? I will make it every time I come across another creator that's dropping the information. I'm gonna at your ass. I'm gonna make you fucking famous, nigga. Fuck out of here. What you talking about? Everybody, make sure y'all follow Teo Aina. And the video is Inside America's City of Black Millionaires. All right, moving on. Atlanta continues to hold its reputation as the black mecca, regardless of gentrification. And let's go further. Let's go a step further. You know what I mean? So, even from the time of the 90s, wait, let me take a goddamn, like they say, hold my beer, nigga. Let me, from the time of the 90s, besides the regular black excellence that was going on, and when I mean regular, just the average hardworking doctor, lawyer, business owner, etc., etc., you had an influx of musicians, rappers, R&B singers, black athletes starting to move from across the country as early as 1987, 88 to Atlanta. And then the city got popping further and went from Atlanta to Hotlanta. And then in the late 1990s, but technically more so the early 2000s, we got the shit popping on some black Hollywood excellence type fly shit. So much so to the point that more movies are now filmed here than in fucking California. What are you talking about, nigga? Who you think played a part in all of that shit happening? You better put your thinking cap on, nigga. That's all I gotta say. Don't ever come trying to be slick, trying to just shit on me on my own channel, nigga. We don't play them games. I may live in Atlanta, but I'm still a New York nigga at heart, and I will come for you, nigga. Don't ever fucking play with me. Don't ever fucking play with me. Yo, world history is our history. So, back to the information. Let's talk about the wealth gap for a minute. Actually, before we even do that, let's just talk about Atlanta versus all other competitors that slightly come close to that motherfucker. In economic power, Atlanta leads the nation in the share of black owned businesses, roughly 11 to 13% of all firms. Washington, D.C. has a higher black median household income from 53,000 to 90,000 compared to Atlanta's city proper average. Social political hub. Atlanta remains the cultural capital due to Atlanta University and its high level of black representation in local government. Cities like South Fulton, Georgia, and Detroit have higher percentages of black residents, being 90% and 75% respectively, creating different models of concentrated political power. Wealth building. Atlanta recently ranked number one in the city for black home buyers by the Mortgage Research Center due to higher mortgage approval rates, 81%, and a smaller racial approval gap compared to national average. So not only do we have the socio-economic political power, we got with the number one city for black home buyers. All right, so let's get to the top 20 cities in black socio-economic power as of at least 2025 coming into 2026. So this is based on reports from Apartment List, Mortgage Research Center, and Huffity, weighing median income, home ownership, inclusivity, and business ownership. Number one, Washington, D.C., highest median income. Deep political federal networking. So those are the strengths of D.C. Atlanta, top for black entrepreneurship and home buyer inclusivity. Number three, Houston, massive business growth, balanced quality of life metrics. Number four, Dallas, high employment rates, 93%, and corporate growth. Charlotte, North Carolina, leading financial frontier with high affordability. My brother actually think about buying some damn apartments out in Charlotte. I'm trying to get him to stay here in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see how that go. But Raleigh is on the come up for sure. So it's a tech innovation hub with strong HBCU talent pipelines. What is the common other connection is these black HBCUs. San Antonio, high ranking for professional economic prospects. Number eight, Richmond, Virginia. I ain't gonna go through all of these shits, but you know where Atlanta is. That motherfucker's at close to the top. Is at number two, goddamn it. Alright, so and I would love to know what city you from, Artesian. Your city better not be at the motherfucking bottom. You better be from goddamn number two. You better be from Washington D.C. The way you trying to flex on my motherfucking city, nigga. Fuck out of here. You better be from D.C. or Houston or Dallas. If you ain't in the top 4 or 5 cities trying to come at Atlanta, shut the fuck up, nigga. Nigga from Omaha, Nebraska, trying to hate, 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 hate. Mm. So there's another YouTube content creator that I want to give a shout out to called Black Excellence Excellist.
Across the United States.
He has 448,000 subscribers, almost a half mil. And this video is titled Top 10 Cities with the Most Black Millionaire Families. Mm-mm-mm. So yeah, I'm gonna put links to these other content creators in the description. Now on to the black-white wealth gap comparison. So as we touched on, Washington D.C. They big boy with it as far as overall. They only number one because they have the highest median um salary per whatever. 91,000 is the average black median income. The white median income is 162,000 for Washington D.C. So that's still almost a $70,000 gap, you know what I'm saying, in wealth. But they say due to massive federal and tech sector professional class, growing in the black community, that gap is slowly closing. Next, South Fulton, Georgia. The average median income for a black family 79.5 thousand, almost 80,000. The average for a white family is 84,200. That gap is close than a motherfucker. If we just counting the legitimate niggas in the city, if we count on scammer income, D-boy income, nigga, we outrank them niggas. Fuck what you heard. But the gap is only 4,700 in Atlanta, nigga. High concentration of black wealth. Let me say it again. High concentration of black wealth. Minimal disparity due to population density. Meaning there's a lot of niggas here. Don't get it fucked up ever. You know what I mean? This ain't no Omaha, Nebraska situation where there's only two niggas in the whole fucking situation. Houston, Texas, 62,800 is the average black wealth there. 98,400 is the average white wealth there. The gap is 35,000. Atlanta, as far as the actual city with the fucking buildings, nigga, the downtown, midtown, Buckhead. The average black wealth is 58,000, while the average white wealth is 118,500. There's a $60,000 wealth gap. So once again, things to keep in mind as the city was appealing. Niggas was boxed into the city for almost a century, but once the black residents started to get into the home ownership game, niggas definitely made their way outside the city into the surrounding suburbs and became home owners. Now, like any city, New York, Detroit, Atlanta, there's the actual city part that niggas know, the technical city part, and then there's the metropolitan area. We consider the whole metropolitan area Atlanta. And most of the niggas are in the metropolitan area. So once again, stop playing these games. You like with that number, that 58,000 versus 118,000. That's whatever at this point. Charlotte, North Carolina, wealth gap 31,000. Prince George, which is the strongest, black excellence situation from a county situation. Their wealth gap is 15,700. So they not bad. They like so far from what I'm seeing, South Fulton, Georgia has only a $4,700 wealth gap. Prince George County has only a 15,000. That's not bad, but it's still behind Atlanta. All right, I'm done. You're aired out, my nigga. Good night. I'll tuck you in. Go to sleep.